gentlemen, and welcome back to Humanity Never Dies. In the last episode, we kicked off our campaign in style, taking care of 2 missions back to back with no deaths and few injuries. With a mixture of squaddies and help from the skirmisher faction, we are in a good position to help the Councillor figure out what is happening to the missing populace.
20 years I've been waiting for this call. When the Councillor's message came to us, I didn't know whether to believe it or not. The commander had returned, and not a moment too late. Hundreds of cases of our informants being taken from the shadows by agents we have yet to find, all in the dead of night, with no noise or traces of a fight. We're not even sure if this is Advent work. It's too professional, too smart. Hopefully Xcom will allow us to figure it out.
So we return to Xcom base from our 2 missions, and we're just going to have a look at what we can build in general. There's quite a bit of building decisions that need to be made. At the moment we don't actually have any engineers, which is going to be a bit of a problem. Unless we start with 1. I think actually we might have gained 1 in our previous mission. Not something that I've really remembered. But I'm going to build a tactics school. Oh, we do, yes. We have me. Hey, it's me. But yeah, so we are going to be building a guerrilla tactics school soon. And we also find the Advent Black site, which the council was talking to us at the end of last episode, and some rookies which we found. So there's quite a bit of information that we need to go through and decisions we need to make. The first is that we're going to be going for supplies. We need supplies. We've only got 20 at the moment. We need supplies so that we can build those extra devices, rooms, and just general everything. We come across the... oh my god, that's so good. There's quite a bit of things that we can research. We got ourselves an inspired research with magnetic weapons, and I think I'm just going to go straight for it. Yeah, I thought so. When it's inspired, it's gone from 30 days to 23, which is insane. And I think I'm just going to rush for that, because it's always good to get those weapons as soon as possible. Once they research, it unlocks a bunch of other researches, although we then have to buy them, which is why getting supplies early is always good and necessary. So that's being done. We've completed the Guerrilla Tactics School, which is really nice and looks very sexy. This will allow us to increase our squad compositions as well as different kinds of upgrades, I believe. So they're called combat tactics. So this will allow our rookies to become specific types. So rather than them having to level up, I can just make them straight into gunslinger or whatever type that I want to do. And then I'm going to then use my engineer then to clear the alien debris. Which we're going to be doing a lot of. Supplies we get 58, which isn't a great amount, but it's better than nothing. It also allows us to investigate for another engineer, which I think I'm going to go for rather than going for the rookies, mostly because we've got a ton of rookies at the moment, and going for an additional engineer is much better than not. I'm going to go side to the Guerrilla Tactics School. I'm just going to have a look what I need for the squad size upgrade, which are the 2 things I'm going to go for as soon as possible. But I needed a sergeant for that, which is not going to be for a little while, because we still have to go through 2 extra things. We have a mission from the skirmishers, which will get us a grenadier and a scientist and some intel. However, there is our first problem of some lost, so we're going to go for that anyway, because that is a lot of good stuff that we can gain from it. We've got a squad coming up. We will be changing them up a bit. We're going to keep Pryor and Lau, and we're going to get ourselves 2 new rookies. We're going to get ourselves Skyfire and McEwen, and off we go then to the next mission.
Just don't get bogged down by the lost.
We begin this mission in a downtown city centre. These are maps that were introduced by War of the Chosen. In this particular mission we need to get to the area that is circled to rescue the scientist and her escort. After a turn timer, the horde will appear. Now there are several things I need to explain, so I'm going to explain them very quickly. The Lost are a bunch of enemies that have unique mechanics to them. They are very low health enemy, but they are usually massed up in big groups, and you'll see that later on in this mission, I can guarantee you that. What will happen is, with them, unlike with regular enemies, you can shoot at them, and if you kill them in one action, it will refund your action, which means you can shoot a lot of them at a time. Obviously, you still are limited by ammunition and reloading and all of that. So in this case, McEwen shoots down the first one, gets her action refunded, goes for the second and misses, which means that her next action isn't refunded, and she just wastes that. With Lau, she goes and shoots at him with a 68% chance and misses completely, which leads her to losing that turn. Then Pryor is going to attempt a similar, well, hopefully hitting this one, that would be great, doing hopefully enough damage to kill it. With Lost, they usually do not a lot of damage, between 1, 2 and 3, it depends on the Lost type. There are several different types, we'll come across those as well. These ones are just the regular ones. Now with our missing, we actually blow up a vehicle due to environment. As you saw, there was a little banner that came up telling us as the Lost Swarm approaches. Every 3 or 4 turns, I believe it's 3 or 4, a Lost Horde will appear on the map. It'll just spawn in, and that is usually between 7 and 10, I don't really know the actual numbers, members of the Lost, of varying types, and explosions reduce that timer by 1. In any case, we've uncovered another set of Lost, so we're going to get Skyfire around the side to try and pick them off. We managed to get 1 hit, going to try and get a second, which we do, and then hopefully get the third. That allows her to get a promotion there. She's going to try and go for the third and in fact miss, which is uncool, but not super unrealistic. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a different word than that, but hey, what can you do? In any case, we're going to move the rest of the gang up. So the aim of this mission, as we know, is to rescue the scientist. That's the main mission, and then we've got a secondary mission of getting the escort, and we have to bring them back to our spawn, which is where the Sky Ranger is going to pick us up. You can see a bunch of Lost came in, and they get activated, and then this Lost is going to just continue going forward. They usually go in groups of between 2 and like 7. It can really vary. I might as well go through the different types. We've got different types of Lost. You've got the very normal looking ones, which are usually between 2 and 4 health. You've got these, I think they're called sprinters, but they're really, really fast and do a little bit more damage. And then you've got the large ones. I can't remember what they're actually called. But you're going to see them. They've got a lot more health, and they've got green growths on them. And they explode when you shoot at them, which is fun. So Pry's going to get rid of those 2 Lost, and she's going to go around the side, and then we're going to get Skyfire to go around and hopefully take pot shots and kill quite a few of these as she goes. So she manages to get 1 down, needs to reload, which is actually going to use up her action, which means that she's not going to be able to shoot anything, because a reload is a half action. McEwen is going to go for her first shot, firing off at one of them. She's going to move up to get herself closer to the enemy, hopefully get herself higher percentages, with 76% chance to hit, missing at 76%, unable to kill that final Lost, which means that Lau is going to have to go around the side and hopefully manage to take care of it. 78% chance to do so, does manage to kill it, which makes sure that the rest of them are safe. With the Lost, unlike other creatures, wow, I can't believe she missed that. Other creatures get 2 actions, same as us. So you get 1 action, then you can do whatever you want with your second, or mix them up. With Lost, they only get 1 movement action, and if they end their movement within melee range, they do a melee attack automatically, which can be very frustrating on occasions. So another group of Lost come wandering through the building. This one's going to come around the side. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe there is some other trigger, because that one should have attacked, but didn't. Either way, Pry is going to move up over here, doing a reload because she needs to. We've only got 2 turns before we can get into that circle. I'm hoping to do that with Pryor. Skyfire's going to go for the shot against this Lost. Oh, she hit. That was very close. She's going to go for another shot over there. I'm not 100% sure, if I'm honest with you guys, why I'm going from cover to cover, because in the end, these are all melee-based enemies, and regardless of whether you're in cover, your chance to hit stays the same. McEwen reloads, gets herself a nice little shot on the other Lost, doing 1-2 kills, and maybe a third if we're lucky. Oh, we can't actually see that, so that's fine. So she's just going to move into a different piece of cover to hopefully make sure that the chain continues, and that way if we get a bunch of Lost that come towards us, we've got a nice little interloping arcs of fire from everywhere. She's actually got a shot on that loss with 68%. I choose not to go for it, and that's when the swarm appears. So this is a lost swarm, it just spawns in. Unluckily for me, this one spawned in very close to the enemy, very close to where I'm trying to go. You see, this is the one I was talking about. This is the stronger one that has green growths, and when you shoot it, it does explode. I think it does more damage actually. And this game, man, I haven't played it in ages. Either way, prize coming through. So Skyfire's going to go all the way there to the circle. She's going to attempt to pick up the Grenadier. And now that she's in there, this causes, and this is the annoying part of this mission, another lost swarm to appear. This one a little bit further. As you can see, those ones are lumbering very quickly towards us, so the sprinters, which is not great. What I should have done there is several things. The first thing I should have done is shot a few of them before actually picking up the Grenadier, because I'm going to have to go forward. I'm going to have to kill every single one of these, or she's going to get absolutely butchered. In moving forward, she actually does discover this lost, who is going to move forward. So, of course, these ones have a lot more health, which means it's less probable that you can kill them in one shot, which leads to more problems of wasting out your attack. So, anyway, Lost Dasher, 66% chance to hit and kill, only hits, does not kill, because you've got to kill them to get that action refunded. Luckily, our scientists can just dash out of there. Skyfire's in big trouble, however, because I've got nothing that I can do to save her. I'm going to try and go around. There's a flashbang that I could get, but it's not going to hit any of them, and my grenades are just not in range. So I'm just going to have to go in Overwatch with Lau. I've got Prior, and Prior's going to have to do the utmost that she can. There's a grenade that I could throw, although that will cause another lost swarm to appear. She misses that first shot, and sadly for me, that's going to be the end of Skyfire, because there's no way she's going to survive several dashes coming through. So the lost swarm comes in. I'm pretty sure we just saw that cutscene, but okay. And that continues forward. With all of these going through, I've got several Overwatch shots coming in, missing completely. Does shoot the car, which means the car will explode at some point, but look at how many that is. Anyway, these two dashers doing 2 damage, which is enough to kill Skyfire out straight, and she throws the Grenadier really far in the air, and Prior also takes a point of damage, so she needs to get the hell out of there, as does the scientist, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to rush it. There's no point in tarrying any longer. Just going to rush to the end zone as soon as possible, as quick as possible, and we're just going to shoot down as many as we can, hoping for the best, but it's going to be a tough one. 74% chance to hit, does manage to kill one down. Now I've got to do a reload. Or I might try and rush out of there. I think I go for the rush. Yes, I do. I'm just covering my advance, killing the ones that are closest as possible. Then going to go for a shot with McEwen. Does manage to hit. That looked like she was going to miss, but it does manage to hit that. And then she's going to dash as far away as possible. We do have a little bit of a cut, technical reasons, and then the entire swarm of lost go through. I think there's a few that do hit Prior. Oh no, none of them hit Prior. Okay, cool. In that case, she's just going to go in. I'm not entirely sure how I play this, if I'm honest. I think I'm just going to go with Lau and try and shoot down as many of them as possible. I know that the scientist is just going to dash out there, but yeah, it's not looking wonderful. So we get a shot there. Does manage to hit and kill. We got another shot next to McEwen. Misses completely. So far Lau has been more of a liability than anything, if I'm really honest. Prize is going to go straight for a run out of there. Run and gun would be really helpful right now. McEwen has to just dash out of there because there's no way she can reload and then kill a bunch of people. I don't want to guarantee that in any way. And our scientist also running as fast as possible. So we're trying to outpace the loss. I'm not entirely sure how successful that's going to go, considering the amount of dashes that there are. There's a lot of them. Just a lot of people everywhere. It looks semi-successful, to be honest, although only 1 hit on Prior, only doing 1 damage, thankfully, and then 2 hits on Lau. Luckily, one of them misses, although she does have 5 health. But at this point, it's just a case of getting the hell out of there, running as fast as possible into that zone. Not great, But hey, but we do manage to somehow succeed this mission. I'm not entirely sure how we managed to do that. We didn't manage to get the VIP's escort, which isn't great. I reloaded with McEwen there because of the assumption that I would be able to get a shot out before she moves out, but I dashed, so I don't know why I would have thought that that would be the case. But yeah, there's so many enemies around, which is just awful. And then finally getting Pryor out of there, and we end that mission with not the best record, but at least we survived, right? Right?
Whoa, wait, dead? How is that possible? Pryor and Lau were there to avoid this outcome. Oh, for fuck's sake. How am I going to report this to the commander? We promised him the best of the best, and we've not only lost an operative, but also the VIP's escort. Right, give me a direct line to the commander's office.
So we return to the Avenger, 1 person down. We've got 2 promotions though. So even though we lost Skyfire, we do get a Corporal and a new Squaddy. Pryor becoming Corporal, going to give her Blade Master, which gives us an extra 2 damage and plus 10 aim to sword attacks, which is really, really good. And McEwen also becomes a sharpshooter alongside Ahmed. It's going to become very useful. And we also get ourselves a scientist, which is really helpful. It allows us to get, well, it reduces our research time by 33%, which is very helpful, especially now that we've got mag weapons on the way. Get a bit of a cut to the main map mode, and we see we've got some supplies on the way, but we're going to continue going for the engineer, because I believe that is a better thing to go for at the moment. Getting ourselves our engineer to clear out more of our Avenger. Far Logo recovers from their wounds as we just about finished that, but the alien debris, which our current engineer was getting rid of, is all dealt with. So we're going to not build anything yet, we're just going to clear more debris. It gives us some supplies, and you're going to see throughout this series I'm just going to clear those as we go. It gives us a lot of nice loot, which is going to become instrumental. Get ourselves a nice little engineer there, Connor Sinclair, who we're going to be using straight away after we move over to some rookies. Probably a bit of a waste of the engineer, probably should have allocated that straight away, but we're going to do that now. And with Sinclair we're not going to build anything, we're just going to clear more, so we can't do that because it's locked, because you can only excavate something that is adjacent to something that's been cleared.
Nothing on the local comms. Advent's been quiet lately. I'm guessing we have you to thank for that.
Our pleasure, Den Mother. Enjoy it while it lasts.
We plan to. Our water purification
Massive signal coming from the Advent network tower. It's global. Sir, I think you want to see this.
Fellow citizens, for 20 years, the Advent Coalition has worked tirelessly to repair the ravages and injustices of the old world. Under our stewardship, our cities prosper, our people flourish, and our world heals. And yet, among us, there are still those who would refuse to acknowledge the truth, who are determined to see all that we have achieved
multiple radar contacts on approach to Haven Alpha 7.
That must end.
Even as I speak to you today,
You've got incoming on approach.
Your signal's breaking up. Outlying territories to end this scourge once and for all.
They're right on top of you.
Losing you, Avenger.
Raise them again.
We will ensure your continued safety and well-being throughout this crisis.
Get your people out of there.
With your cooperation, we will overcome these radical elements and usher in another 20 years of peace and prosperity.
They don't stand a chance. Commander, we should get a squad ready to deploy.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to deploy the squad to go for this next mission, which is a retaliation mission. So effectively we need to go to a resistance base and deal with the enemies that are there. So we're going to fly over to our main HQ section. We're going to deal, luckily we can start off with a group of individuals, which we are going to continue to keep the way that they are. We're not going to move them anyway. We've got White, Far Logo, Lentz and McEwen. Each of them are on specific, well they're all each of the different type of specialist groups, so that's always good. And we are going to go straight out to do that in Operation Hammer Slayer.
Menace 1-5, hostile forces are attacking the outpost. Eliminate all enemy units and protect those civilians. Advent came in hot and so did we. You won't have a concealed position for deployment on this one.
So we start off our resistance invasion thing, whatever it's called, just on top of a roof, I guess. We've got ourselves our 4 upgraded squaddies, and we're going to move around to try and see if we can spot the enemy. The goal of this mission is to rescue our civilians, so we've got 6 civilians out of a potential 13 we need to rescue, and then anything on top of that I think just gives us additional bonuses for the region. But we're going to just pick out a nice little set and fan ourselves out, making sure that our sharpshooter McEwen remains on the top in Overwatch.
Come get some.
Right on schedule.
And we also find our first Chosen, the Hunter. He's got 2 strengths, 2 weaknesses, the weaknesses being Brittle and Skirmisher, and his strength being Revenge and Low Profile, which is really not great, but also not terrible. Revenge means that if we miss him, he has a chance to shoot back, and also Low Profile means he ups his defense after the first shot, which is not great. So we've got 2 Overwatch shots against him, and he's just going to move up, and then we've got alien activity going forward. We're going to get quite a few voiceovers from both Hunter and Central, which is going to give us some VO, which is very annoying, and I wish I had turned it off before doing these recordings, but I haven't now, and there's not much I can do about it, if I'm honest. Oh well. The Chosen. Now, Mission 4 Chosen already. It feels kind of bad, mostly because the Chosen are really tough. At this stage, I don't think we're going to struggle too much, just because we've got a full squad. None of the other aliens have been activated yet, so we should be able to focus everything on him. What we're going to do then to go forward is we're going to move around and use Lens to use a slash attack on the Hunter. We're going to do it from outside, 88% chance to hit, and he misses. So it doesn't start off very well. 3, and then we get a low profile shot as well, which luckily misses, but that could have been disastrous. 35% chance to hit with our sniper, so we're going to skip that instead, and we're going to go with Far Logo. She's going to go around the side and get a flanking shot on 65%. Also misses, so not going great. 50% of our forces have done nothing. So next we've got White, who's going to go up. What I'm going to do, I think, is going to use a grenade. So I'm going to see what chances I have. It is flanked, 52%, but I think it's just better that I do a grenade so that I can clear out the terrain in general. Going to go around the side and click around. There was a bit of some glitching going on, but I think I got it successfully down and managed to clear out not only the cover but deal 3 damage against the Chosen Hunter, which allows us to get a flanking shot with our sniper rifle at 76%, which also allows us to get a critical hit for 8 beautiful damages. And then what's going to happen is that the aliens are going to get their go. They're going to kill another civilian, make the other civilian run away. So the aliens get their go, and then the Chosen get their go afterwards, so that allows us to sort of figure out how to do it in turn economies. But the Hunter's going to do its first strength, which is going to call out an enemy, a trooper I should say, rather than an enemy. Calls out a trooper, which is not the worst thing. Then he's going to grapple, which gives us a free action. He's going to get up top, which could be disastrous, but luckily for us he just drops down and throws a grenade, which dazes 2 of our operatives. Now I'm going to be honest, I think there is a cut coming up very soon, and I think what happened was I was distracted and did something else. Effectively, these two troopers are now dazed, which I need to go up to one of them to undaze them, and then that allows them to get their actions back. So what I do instead is that with my white, I move the camera around, try and figure out where he's gone. I'm going to do a flanking shot from this end. Nice little flank at 78% chance. I shoot, and I actually do hit for 5 damage. He does now have low profile, however. And then McEwen is going to look around. I can see that both of my dudes are dazed, and I think I only just realised that they're both dazed now. So what I could do is go up there and then undaze them, or I could throw a frag grenade, which will leave him on 1 hit point, which I believe would be better. I'd forgotten what daze did. Effectively, I thought that they were dazed similar to when the enemies are disorientated or unconscious or whatever, where they're shut down for 1 turn and then the next turn they're back, rather than actually being dazed where they're stuck on the floor. But that's exactly what they are. So we've got some movement from the Advent. They're going to move up. The trooper's going to dash up and shoot at one of the civilians, killing another one. So we've lost 3 civilians so far, and then the Chosen is going to do his action. With 1 hit point, he's going to go up and extract knowledge from our operative. That has some out of combat and out of battle consequences for later, but removes the dazed on Falago, and then the hunter disappears, so we don't get the additional 5 action, or what they call ability points, for killing him, which is a bit annoying, but hey, that's what happens. And luckily it's still early enough in the game that this won't really have that much consequence on us, but it is a stupid move from my behalf to not just go down there with white and activate all of them, because I could have killed that Chosen. I was more than able to do so. Anyway, let's make sure that this doesn't happen going forward. So what we do is, while Lent's going to kill that sectoid, Falago is going to go around the side and hopefully be able to shoot at one of the aliens. She's not really in a great position to do any of that, however, so I'm just going to move up with her. She does have a grenade, and I think that's what I'm going to go for, if I'm correct. So I have to go up and make sure that I can hit that. And I do. It's going to destroy the entire shack, which is pretty amusing, but it does definitely kill him. However, it does also destroy the loot, which is another thing that is annoying and does happen on occasion, and I need to avoid doing. So yeah, not going fantastically, and most of that is just because I'm an idiot, and I should really be paying more attention to the things going on rather than doing 2 things at once, such as recording and also talking to people or otherwise. McEwen is going to go into pistol overwatch, hopefully going to be able to get a shot on the trooper, who, you know, both her and white do, but miss our overwatch, and then he's going to get a nice critical hit on Lens, which is not great, but he doesn't die, and that's really nice because I didn't particularly want to lose anyone this soon. So he's going to go around the side and do a choppy chop, and misses again. That's twice he's missed on a very high percentage chance. So McEwen's going to go around the side, going to try and hit with her sniper rifle on 55%, does manage to get the kill from a raised, what is called a height advantage shot from a raised location, gives her an additional ability point. These ability points will be spent later on in the campaign, mostly because you need a specific training room, I think it's called. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you need a special building slot to be able to use it, and I haven't got that yet. So let's move around. Now that we've cleared this area of all the enemies, we've got a bunch of civilians that we can save. We've taken care of the Chosen, so we don't need to be worried about that. Usually the Hunter is dealt with differently, and as you probably are aware, we will see more of that later on. I'm currently moving the camera around to get myself a nice little positioning to figure out where the rest of the map is and where I can put my troopers to be able to figure out where the enemy is. Now Lens is only on 1 hit point, and that really sucks because being on 1 hit point means that he's prone to die at any point, and I don't have any healers anywhere. Luckily we do have McEwen down back the back. She's got a height advantage and also has a long sight. 31% chance. I'm like, fuck it, I might as well just go for this shot, and you know what? I'm glad that I did, because I managed to get 6 damage not only. But yeah, that was an insane shot. normally wouldn't go for such a shot, but at this point I was like, well, McEwen's useless because she's so far away, I might as well just try it, and it worked out. 67% chance we got an Advent Priest, which is the psionic counterpart to the Advent Trooper. Managed to get a nice critical shot around the side. We're going to try with Falago to go on a height over there to be able to kill him. Don't know whether or not this will go, but it is a critical chance. 89% chance does manage to kill him, and luckily doesn't go into stasis. Now with priests, oh, actually we ends the mission. Well done us. But yeah, priests have this staying away. If you kill them, sometimes you get into stasis and keep them on 1 HP. But that was done. So we managed to kill out this Chosen, which could have been disastrous, but we did manage to take him out. Well, we didn't take him out, he ran away, which isn't as good now that I think about it. Regardless, we didn't lose anyone. We only got wounded. Well, Lentz got super heavily wounded, but the rest of them did okay. We've got no upgrades, no promotions on anyone, but we do have most cohesion going on there. And we do rescue 10 civilians out of a potential 13, which is insane, as well as a bunch of corpses and stuff. But yeah, everything's gone well, and I think at this point I will see you next time.